Hey guys, welcome back. So back in December last year, I did a video talking about Martiangear. So Martiangear is a very new company or a local gaming company right here in Singapore. Now, if you want to check out that video, I'll put a link to that in the video description below. Now, Martiangear launched their brand with a whole range of different gaming chairs. They've got other sorts of gaming products lined up for the near future, but for right now, they released their chairs and they've sent over their first one over for review. So this one here is the Martiangear Supernova. So if you go over to the Martiangear website, which of course I'll link below, now if you see all the names of their different gaming chairs, and by the way, they have a very impressive variation or range of different gaming chairs. But if you take a look at the name, you realize that all of them have a sci-fi or like a space theme. But before we go more about this chair, I want to talk a little bit about the history of the first gaming chairs that came about. Now, if you saw my video of the Rossi Verona V2, I think that gaming chair, now that was the stereotypical early gaming chairs where they were all designed after racing bucket seats. Now, of course, they look cool and all, but if you look at the practical use of a bucket seat in racing, it's more about keeping the driver on the seat, not moving him too much, because you know when you drive and you're driving really fast, the car moves all over the place. So it holds you down, and also it's really light, so you have very little cushion. Now again, like I said, it looks really nice, but put it in the scenario of someone who's sitting down to play games, those sort of benefits of a racing car seat just does not make sense. Now what I really like is that Martiangear has sort of taken a slightly different approach to the Supernova line of chairs. Now if you take a look at the other one, I think it's called the Astronaut series, that's very quintessential, very stereotypical gaming chair, same sort of design, but this one is very different. Now again, it takes a lot of the design inspiration from car seats, but not your bucket seats, all right? This is more of like closer towards what we would call semi-bucket, or for like car seats that you would get in like production sports cars. And if you take a look at the design of this chair, the first thing that I realized when I saw it is that it looks a lot like the Porsche 911 seat, all right? Now it has the same sort of design aesthetic, and actually I think that is a brilliant idea. Now first of all, in a normal car seat, or even like a racing car seat, not purebred racing, but like a sports car that you can buy, the seat still has a lot of cushion. Things like ergonomics, comfort is still a high priority. And with this, yes, it feels like a car seat, not a bucket seat, like an actual car seat. It is really comfortable. Now from this angle, you can hardly see the seat, you maybe just a little bit here, but everything else at the back and the base sort of fits me perfectly, and I'm a little surprised. Now you know that I reviewed a ton of different gaming chairs, but my daily driver, or the chair that I use on a daily basis, is still the APOL Behemoth, and the only reason is because it still has a very big and a very wide seat, you know, and I have that habit of, you know, tucking one leg under my other leg. It's just a habit of mine, and that's the only chair that I can do that comfortably. Now this chair is quite a fair bit smaller. The base is smaller, and by the way, I do wish the base was a little bit bigger. But yeah, it's a lot smaller than the APL in terms of the size of the base. However, I can still do that same tucking thing here, no problem, because it doesn't have the kind of seat that has metal bars at the side. This one is totally flat, like again, like a normal car. Now, like I said, it's significantly smaller than the APL Behemoth, but to my surprise, I expected to feel a little uncomfortable and feel a little bit like squished in this chair after a long period of time. But actually, you know what? This chair has been comfortable. Like, you know, I sit down almost every day editing for 4-6 hours at the time. And a lot of gaming chairs, after a while, I tend to need to stretch, I need to stand up a bit. This is only the second chair that I've sat down throughout the entire 4 to 6 hours and didn't feel any backaches at all. Now, before we talk about the other features of the chair, I want to talk about the design a bit. I really like the design. Same thing, it feels very sport car-ish, you know, and I mean production sports car, not like racing cars. It has a very nice design to it. Funnily, it's only available in this black with sort of like red accents. They don't have it in any other colors, which is fine by me because I love black. But yeah, the red accents, the red stitching around the seat is beautiful. It's really well built. You don't see any folds around it. It feels really tight. But another thing that might not matter to a lot of you, but what I really like as well, is that you've got the Martiangear brand on the headrest. You've got the Supernova branding on the base of the seat, but it's not like flashy, it doesn't shout out, it's actually black on black. So even though it's a black chair, the threading for the Martiangear logo and the Supernova is in black as well, which adds to the really nice and really sleek aesthetic. And of course, with every other gaming chair, you're gonna get your regular cushions. You've got the backrest here, and you've got the headrest. Now, to be fair, they feel really nice. They've got this sort of like a, I don't know what you call it, felt or like velvet material. It feels really nice on your skin, but I think that's about it. First of all, the backrest, I gotta admit guys, I really don't like it. To me, it is the very definition of an afterthought. It does not fit the chair at all. It feels like it was brought on from another chair. And like I said, with this chair, I've sat down for 4 to 6 hours at a time, didn't feel any discomfort. And it was without this. You don't need this at all. And that goes double for this. Now, to be fair, like I said, it feels really nice. It's really soft. It's not too firm. I do have a use for this, which I'll speak about later. But you don't need this again. Not because the cushion is bad, but at the top of the headrest of this chair, you've already got a very fair bit of cushion, the most amount of cushion on the chair of any other gaming chair that I've tested. And all you other gaming chair brands, you might want to take a page out of Martiangear here, because this extra cushion here is brilliant and removes the need for this, which, I mean, if any of you have gaming chairs, you're probably going to admit that you don't use this anyway. So honestly, I think the only reason why they added these cushions in is because they didn't want people to think that, oh, they're cheaping out on the chair and not giving you cushions for ergonomics. Now, if you're looking to get this chair, trust me, you do not need this. The chair is brilliantly comfortable as it is. Now, of course, you get the same 4D armrest. You know, you can raise it up, down, forward, backwards, you know, tilt it, whatever. You get that everywhere. But I'm going to take this opportunity to speak to gaming chair manufacturers. I'm not speaking exclusively to Martiangear, I'm speaking to everyone. Now, this design has been around for years, and honestly, no matter what chair has this, the only benefit is the fact that it's adjustable. Other than that, it's not actually comfortable at all. Now, maybe it could be because of my height, but for me, even at its highest, when I do video editing, I tend to have my hands like this on the keyboard and on the mouse. And after a few hours, I get really bad nerve pain in my elbows. Now that's basically because these armrests, even though they are rubber, they're actually pretty hard. So this is where I was talking about how I use this. I actually put this on the armrest and use this as a cushion. That's the only way I can edit long term without getting any nerve pains on my elbows. So yeah, I think these guys really need to do some R&D and come up with something new, come up with something that's a bit more comfortable. If you guys really do that, it would be a game changer. But let's go back to something else that I like about this chair. Now, this chair, yes, you can recline it. It doesn't go all the way down flat, but I don't know why you want it to. It goes down to about 155, which is more than enough for me. But what I really like is that the lever to recline the chair, now it's almost the same or practically the same with every other gaming chair, but not this one. The lever actually flushes with the side of the chair, and this one right now is easily the best design that I've seen so far. Now for the leather here, or rather it's called vegan leather. Now that term vegan leather isn't something that's standardized. It doesn't mean one specific thing. All it means is that it's not real leather. So how long it will last and all that really depends on where you are. Now, I've said this before in my other chair reviews. Now, I've always preferred sort of this soft fabric materials over leather, not because they feel better, but because they tend to last longer in Singapore. Now, Singapore has a very hot and humid climate. So if you're in Singapore, if you're in a place that has a similar kind of climate to Singapore, you realize that this sort of PU leather or leather tends to start cracking and starts peeling really quickly. So how long this will last, I'm not entirely sure, but in the warranty, you actually get 3 years warranty on this PU leather and an additional 12 years on the frame. Now, having said all that, I actually quite like the material of this vegan leather. Now, it does feel a bit different to some of the other chairs that I've tested that has PU leather on it. Alright, so let's talk about the price. So the Martiangear Supernova comes in at about 488 Singapore dollars. Now, I know it might seem pretty expensive, but first of all, the warranty, like I said, you get 3 years warranty on the vegan leather, and you get 12-year warranty on the frame itself. So you're going to be covered in terms of warranty for quite a while. Now, you also get a chair that is really well built. I'm really impressed with the build quality. The design is really nice. The vegan leather feels good, although like I said, I can't vouch for how long it will last. It's really comfortable. I'm actually using this chair now for my daily editing. Overall, for what you get for that $488, I think it's actually a really good deal. So yeah, the Supernova is the first chair that I've reviewed from Martiangear, and they've got plenty more, right? So I'm gonna try and review those as well. But Martiangear, I have to say, you guys have made a very good first impression. Alright, so that about wraps up the review of the Martiangear Supernova. Now, if you like this video, you know what to do, and I would love it if you would subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications on our next video. I'm JP, and I'll see you real soon.